Hi, everybody. Hal and Andrew back for a quick pop-up hello. We're going to live stream into the Facebook page,
Hi,
and we'll also
everybody.
send it up. Hi, Andrew. Send it up to the podcast channel also. So, how are you, buddy? What's going on?
It's been relatively quiet. Got a lot of things planned for the tanks and stuff. I hope things go smoothly. But over the last couple of weeks, we're just getting things ready for a busy season, probably starting Feb 1.
Okay, and now just to put it, God willing, put it close to it. The ick nightmare it's gone.
No, as a matter of fact, we did some experimenting. I actually added all the fish that we took out from the scrapes. I added them back into the tanks after chloroquine phosphate, so they were clean. And most of them, the ones that got the dots the first time or were affected, got reinfected the second time. Okay, so the Achilles that I had in there have some dots again. The black tang that I had in there, some dots again. Yet I must have threw in, I don't know, 2 or 3 dozen Anthias and 10 wrasses, and I see no effects on them at all, 0. So it looks to be very fish specific, very Achilles tang and black tang ick magnet specific. At least that's what I could see, right? Who knows if that's what's really going on. It is not bothering any of the fish at all. It's light. I can, in fact, the fish look fantastic. And this is just going to be a question now of how long do we continue this peroxide? Some of the corals are not happy. Some of the apros are starting to bleach a little bit and lighten up, and the zooanthal is definitely, getting affected. And I've actually had to turn the par and the lights down a little bit twice now, just to get it, from keeping them, not really cooked and bleached out. So we're about 5 weeks into the peroxide, 4.5. It's supposed to be a 6-week treatment. I don't know what's going to happen after week 6. I don't know if I'm going to do another week or 2 after that because I have dots. I don't know if I stop it, whether it does anything, or maybe the UV just takes care of it by itself anyway. So I'm sort of in this discovery zone process.
The when I see, I sort of I think of it like a virus, right? And like, if you get COVID once, you sort of like have antibodies to it, so it'll probably
Didn't
be
work
less
like
deadly.
that, right? The same fish should have had immunity, and they went back in and they got some dots again. So it looks like it's very species driven as opposed to that. It looks like
Interesting.
the Achilles and the black tangs, although who knows, maybe that's just where I could see it, but I don't see. I mean, for me to add 2 dozen Amphias, Pectilis, and Squamopinus and a bunch of wrasses and not see a thing on any of the fish looks to me like very species specific.
Dr. Roush.
And that just like opens up a whole nother realm of possibility of how you could deal with it. Because
I'm to me, I'm going to have to make a decision in the next 2 weeks whether I have to give the coral a break anyway, no matter what.
Mhm.
And we'll see what happens. And God forbid I have to redose the peroxide. Or do I continue to go another 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of the peroxide and delay the coral additions because I still have some dots? I don't know the answer here, and not so many people do. This peroxide in tank treatment is sort of pretty experimental. So the protocols are people say go 6 weeks because that's how long the tromonts could live and insist. But if you're still seeing dots, I'm not sure what to do. but the fish look good. The fish look better than good. The fish look strong and healthy. At some point, I'm gonna have to make a coral choice.
Yeah, it's scary. It's still scary that we're in a position where some of the decisions that you might want to make can be like, holy crap, drastic, and it's not like you can, grab a fish net and grab a goldfish out of the tank and throw them
No,
in a
no.
red Solo cup for a couple of days.
No,
It's,
no. If I stop the peroxide right now, this second, I'm not even sure I would change the course of what's going on in this tank anyway.
yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is all subjective, and we'll see. I mean,
it's crazy, but you sort of like at this point you're at a point where you wrote the book on this now. You wrote the book on the
I don't know if I wrote
research
the
on.
book, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of posts about it, but
Yeah.
it's all about control. It's not. You're not sort of eliminating the problem. You're sort of controlling it with the peroxide, and you probably always have tromons in the tank at some point or some degree. And maybe the fish that are susceptible to it just have to go through it, and the ones that are not are not.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little, look, at worst, everything just gets pushed back, right? The coral doesn't go in Feb 1, goes in 2-3 weeks after that, and I just got to delay new corals coming here and keep the corals in the vats. I think that's the worst case. The best case is it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Whatever got dots, and whatever didn't, and it's just got to go through its stage. And I could stop it right now, and it would make no difference.
All right. Yeah, I hate starting all of our lives on this whole ick problem, but everybody's always asking about it.
My other fish, the purple is the powder blue. There's less scratching. I don't see it. I just see it on the black tanks, visually at least.
Yeah. All right. Now keep us updated on that. You put up a post a couple of days ago about the cubes. Okay. What is a cube? What are they? Where are they? What are you doing with them? And where they are now? Where are they at now? Besides the fact that they look like absolutely incredible hand-painted artist paintings.
Yeah.
They don't even look real.
So we really spruced them up. It was sort of to-do list. They're connected to one another. So it's one system on a sump that's also about the size of a cube. So it's basically 3 cubes attached. We keep them a couple degrees cooler because the fish are a little deeper water. But it's its own system, and on these radions, they're pretty easy to control, and so I'm enjoying them. And the one in my office, I'll start going in there more when the 2500 is actually up and running and going. So
You're breaking up just a little bit, but not terrible.
okay.
Yeah. Signal strength. But anyway, what sort of temperature is in the cubes? That's so much that
We had them at 74. I had them at 74. And I raised them to 75 because some of the coral I felt was a little bit stressed at 74, and the fish really don't care whether it's 74 or 75. So they're at 75 now, and all is well.
What part of the planet would animals come from that go into this type of environment as opposed to the main reef?
It's deep water. It's deep water Coral Sea and deep water Hawaii.
Wow. So you're actually starting to cover the planet in different ecosystems now.
Yeah, I guess, but it's,
Did you know that in the last, just to keep, you might know if you look at the insights, but from over the last 28 days, from
Yep.
December 20th to January 16th, you reached 17.1 million people on the page, an increase of 1,300% with
a whole
over a
drilling,
million people, huh?
most of that from the drilling and the brick.
That wouldn't surprise me. But I mean, I haven't broken it down yet. I haven't looked at it, but this is just on the insights on the front of the page. Over a million people engaged with your content in the last 28 days. That's an increase of 844%.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the page is growing. It grows a few hundred, maybe every few weeks, and 1,000. I look up after a month, it's up 1,000. But the Instagram stuff's amazing. I mean, here's a platform where nobody has patience to do anything other than hit a heart button or some fire or whatever. It's the least informative things I do. But I think it's where all the fish people reside. So, I
Because
mean, that thing is
it's
gone,
graphically based, because it's designed for pictures.
I guess, or
Yeah.
but the music videos are still going on the long format IGTV, so it's not so easy.
Mhm.
That's growing like a few hundred, like every few days.
Yep.
I think that one started a few months ago at 2,000 or 3,000, and it's up to almost 13,000. That's pretty.
Yep.
I wish my stock portfolio would grow like that.
Well, you and I are doing pretty good with Facebook platform. Don't let me get anywhere near your stock. You'll be selling fish to pay for the bills.
I actually think that Hal, I actually disengaged from one of the groups on purpose, the groups that I post in, and try to join as my public figure one,
Uh-huh.
because then people wouldn't try to friend me, and I can't take them anyway because I got 5,000. I send them that message,
Yeah.
and I assume only a third or half of those people then follow you once they get that message. It's just my assumption. I don't know for sure, but a lot of the groups either don't allow for the page to follow you, or the page doesn't allow you to be in the groups.
The group has a setting to not allow pages to join.
Right. So it went back to the Andrew Sandler's personal setting, even though I tried to be the page.
Yeah.
I just thought that would be a lot easier than sending out that message, I can't take you.
Have patience with this situation. There's a solution on its way out.
Oh,
but
is that right?
I can't. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So just have a little bit of patience. So I had talked to you about doing a podcast today, and you mentioned something that I think you said there was something going to be happening a day or two ago with Michelle and Jonathan, I think, or something. Did you guys do something?
We've been toying with different things, and they've been here on and off. Michelle did a dive, but it was just really to pick up some stuff on the floor, and we blew some rock. Nothing exciting. We are scheduled for the end of this month and early February several dives to put in all those coral in the vats.
But
And I have deposits on a lot of new fancy coral going in the vats when they're empty. It's just that I hope it's not delayed again.
Yeah.
We
More vats.
also have we're playing with this new I don't think we discussed it last time, but I definitely have it on the videos. This new Panther Ray Hydro Wizard pump, the massive pump that that I put in for flow. It's actually in the center of the tank. It does 42,000 gallons per hour. It moves water like that. And it's really just for the coral and movement of water. And we're experimenting with one now, and we sort of like it a lot. We ordered some other ones. We don't know how to mount them still, and we're playing with the settings. If you do a constant flow, there's less of that micro bubbles that come out of them. If you do the wave setting where it goes on and off, it actually literally like causes micro bubbles of steam in the tank, essentially, and it makes it look a little cloudier, which is sort of annoying. But we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I thought there was, I mean, I don't know if there's something that's just set up for that size piece of equipment, but there was like a filter kind of like, I don't know if it's not a filter, but it's like something you can put in the flow that captures and eliminates those micro bubbles. There's something out there that does something like that. I forget what it was called, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We keep putting in stuff in the sump. We keep putting in that plastic, the stuff in the DLS spiral stuff when used to use when they used to have the spinners in the tank. It's like a plastic mesh. We keep building walls. We keep building walls with it.
Yeah. Like a spongy, it was like a plastic spongy kind of thing.
Yes, it's what it is. It's like a hard spongy thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we play around with that, and but this Hydro Wizard, there's really two of these kind of pumps out there. One is this Hydro Wizard. The other one is an Abyss. And this Hydro Wizard on one of the settings definitely puts out some steam micro bubbles. It's sort of annoying. So I just today I turned the setting down and I just turned it on flow, constant flow instead of the wave, and it's significantly better. So we'll see. We're just in this next 2 weeks. We're playing here. There's nothing to do.
Roland said some NASA type of material. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
It's huge. It looks like a huge cocktail table square, but we send them down to the bottom of the sump, which is 14 feet. So you need two of them attached to one another, essentially, to build the wall.
Wow.
And we just rinsed off the other ones. We took them out and hosed them off. We don't do that very often, but we did it. So that's what Yeltsin and I did today. Tomorrow, Jonathan is coming for most of the day because they got to change the GFO reactor, and that's a good half a day with two men. The phosphate has been climbing over the last month or so with the peroxide. It definitely kills a little algae, a little zooxanthellae on the coral. So the phosphate has climbed from about 0.1 to about 0.25. And I did not want to use lithium with peroxide because nobody knows what those two effects are together. I didn't think it was important enough. So we just waited for the GFO to come, and it finally came. And tomorrow is Labor Day. So they'll do that tomorrow. And everything else is now in a waiting game here.
Yeah, so we're probably going to be another 2 weeks or something.
I would think 2 weeks at a minimum and a month and a maximum. The other thing that is going on, though, is the rock that came from Australia for the 2,500 gallon is in.
And this is live rock.
The live rock, yeah. And it's at my buddy's house in this huge vat system in his garage, where some of it's curing, but we're going to cure the rest of it in the 2,500 gallon tank itself. So by the end of this week coming up, I believe there'll be a skimmer. There already is a skimmer in there on a milk carton, huge milk carton, because we're not gonna run the tank. We're just gonna run it with water 3/4 of the way with the skimmer.
Yeah.
Like a vat with some flow. And I'm just gonna let the rock cure in there for a few months. And when we're ready to rockscape it, we'll take the rock out, lay it out on some kiddie pools, which we'll buy at one of the pool supply stores so it doesn't make the floor all wet. And we'll spray it down and literally cement it together and scape the tank.
Tian wants to know if you have any tips on something natural to help take care of, oh boy, here we go, cyanocobalamin.
Yeah,
I don't know what
the
cyano, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bacteria, and a lot of it's about balance and getting your nutrients right. And some people have had good luck just blowing it off and siphoning it, and it goes away. Some people have told me they've used this what is it called? The Vibrance, or one of those products successfully. Some people change their nutrients. I'll tell you that I've had good luck lowering your reds and greens on your LEDs. So I use the Ecotex. I put it on the AB plus, but then I lower the green and red down to 5%. And I can even lower the cool white down just a little bit. And we've had good luck also changing carbons. This ESV carbon, we think, gets rid of it too. So it's one of those things.
She's a good friend of yours. Good people.
Yeah, she's a nice person.
Yeah. I saw Shelly popped in. Hi, honey.
Hi, Shell.
Yeah. All right. So I didn't think we were going to be going a whole hour today because there wasn't a whole lots and lots of updates. You got anything else you want to talk about? You got all of Facebook watching and listening to you now. What's up?
No, it was a nice 3-day weekend, and
Yeah.
I had some interesting visitors over this weekend. I actually had 2 filmmakers from Discovery and somebody that does a lot of the zoo shows on Nat Geo come over and look at the tank, and wondering what sort of projects they might do.
I like it.
So we'll see. That was Friday. And yesterday Yeltsin was off, so it was just me and Maria, and we did the least possible we could do. we just peroxide the tank and add the bionic and feed them, and that's it. People, I got 2,500 pounds of rock coming for the 2,500 gallon tank. We're gonna power wash it actually with salt water instead of scrubbing it before it goes into the tank. So we got a whole vat of 5,000 gallons ready to go to power wash. That rock cures a lot better when it's clean to begin with.
Yeah.
So really what we're talking about now is time. I'm in the tea time zone here.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're also still able to enjoy the whole tank and the whole process while you're in this, because it's like a weird place to be. You're still sort of like on hold, Yeah,
you feel guilty that you're not even sidestepping, and you're watching this coral get a little bit less colorful every week, with between peroxide and all the ozone that's going on into the tank. And we threw some amino acids in there also to try to prevent it from getting worse. The dose is interesting. I have to dose a couple of gallons at a time of aminos.
There's
So-
nothing small potatoes with you,
No,
man.
no, but you just pour it in. You know, we're gonna pour it in every 4 days.
A quarter of a teaspoon will not cut it.
No, no, no. No, we're using Aqua Power, but we need it. You know, we got 5-gallon buckets, so we'll be doing a couple of gallons at a time. And that's it. I mean, the fish are fine. They're even the ones that have the dots act normally, eat normally, fine. I'm not really worried about it.
I hope I can save this video off Facebook so I can download it because I never recorded the Zoom.
That would be good.
I think I can pull it off of Facebook and then save it. But anyway,
Oh, and the clam tank also.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
up
yeah,
and
yeah,
running.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
waiting for my blue bulbs. We actually, I probably shouldn't have done this. I threw another black tang in there to see what would happen, to see whether or not he would get some dots downstream as opposed to locally.
yeah.
And I just noticed a couple of dots on him today.
So it's going through the whole thing.
Yeah, it's the same fish that it attacks. You know, it's the same kind of a fish. I'm probably going to leave them in there and just leave the peroxide because again, it's mild. It's nothing going on.
Okay, so let me ask you a question about that, Andrew. You got make believe, and I don't know how else to say it. Make believe like you have a cup of water, okay,
yeah,
and it's in the 17,000-gallon giant Reef display. It goes through filters, it goes through all the equipment and all the everything and all this and that, and it goes all over the place. Besides making it back into the 17,000-gallon, where else can it go? Other tanks?
yeah, everything that's attached to it. So there's a 300-gallon tank attached to it with those koi tangs and the Personatus angels, and there's not a single speck or dot on any fish in there. Nothing.
Not the vats, though. The vats
So-
are isolated.
The vats are isolated. So it's
And
basically
the
that. and
cubes are
clam-
isolated.
The cubes are isolated, so it's just a clam tank. And I'm sure if I would have put wrasse and anthias in the clam tank, they probably would not have gotten a dot. What else am I doing? I'm quarantining 2 little stupid little fox faces right now to put in the 300 to get rid of some bubble algae. So they're in quarantine tank with chloroquine phosphate. They eat some bubble algae, and I'm quarantining some emerald crabs at the same time in one of the invert systems. They'll be ready in 3 weeks, and I'll put them in the 300. I'm just trying to clean things up in here
Oh, yeah.
as long as I have this time.
Got to keep busy.
Yeah,
You,
right.
you got nothing else. You got nothing else to do, right?
Stock market's been very stressful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird time of year for all of it.
Yep.
With everything that's been going on. All right. Well, thank you, Andrew. God willing, I can pull the video and audio off of Facebook and download it. Other than that, we'll have to do another one for the
Yeah,
For the
within,
podcast next week.
I think within 2 weeks, we're gonna
Well,
have a real solid answer on whether we're gonna do the go ahead on new coral and stop the peroxide or not. And so we could plan another one in that time frame.
yeah, let's
or
set
we
it up.
can-
We'll do an event so everybody knows it's coming up in
Right,
advance.
exactly. Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say the last week in Jan or the first week in Feb.
Okay. February 1st week. Okay, I'll talk to you offline about it. We'll pick a date and set up an event so everybody knows it's coming. They can have a couple of weeks time to remember to go.
Yep.
All right. Hey,
Great.
thank you, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a nice, happy holiday day and day
Yep.
off.
That the freaking cubes are unbelievable. That I'll mention that somebody said it would make a great Facebook background, so I tossed it up there
Did it? Yeah,
for
it's beautiful.
somebody. Yeah.
It
yeah,
looks
it's
good on
it's
there.
cool. Yeah, it does. What's the line right there to the, like, right All right.
You
See the line?
know, it's actually yeah, I see it, and
A reflection?
actually sunlight that comes through the window, believe it or not. A reflection, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Whatever. It's fun to do. Hey, listen, thanks again, Andrew. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll talk to you on the next one. Look for an event coming up. We'll set up an event for the next one in about 2 weeks, so you all know it's coming
Great.
up.
Have a good week, everybody. Stay
Take care.
healthy.
Have a good week, Andrew. Thank you.